It is 1:12 p.m. and I've done nothing all day. So I am currently at home in New Hampshire. I have obviously come across more than a few relatives with some comments about my hair. I dye my hair a lot. When I'm in Charleston, I can't really dye it that often because I have a job that does not allow unnatural colored hair. So since I'm home for a week, I was like, hey, I'll dye my hair and it'll be a really funky color and it'll be really fun. And the number one thing, like the number one comment that I get with regards to my hair is, you're gonna ruin your hair. And here's the thing, I just wanted to clarify, if you dye your hair a lot, that's not necessarily gonna ruin your hair in and of itself. If you dye your hair a lot and don't take care of it, yeah, you're gonna fuck it up. Hair is literally just like a bunch of dead cells sprouting out of your scalp, so you can damage it, but it's ultimately just like a surface aesthetic. It's not anything, it's not in any way connected to your physical health. Obviously, people care about how they look in a lot of ways, and I usually don't. My hair is like my one point where I actually care about my appearance. I like having short hair. I had long hair for most of my life, for like the first 21 years, and then I chopped it all off, and I really enjoy it. It makes me feel a lot better with like how I express myself, how I feel about myself, and I just like having pink hair because it's fun and unusual, and I just like doing it. My sister and my mom and everybody are like, oh, you are gonna ruin your hair. And I'm like, first of all, this is coming from people who have never dyed their hair at all. And second of all, no. Obviously, bleaching your hair is going to affect the texture of it, but I don't bleach it that often. If you bleach it every month, yeah, you're gonna get dried out hair. That's happened when I was like 17 or 18. I had blonde hair for a really long time, and I bleached it myself, and I didn't do a very good job of it, and my hair got really dry and it had a really gross texture because I did it very often without knowing what the hell I was doing. You can bleach your hair, and it's not going to ruin it for the rest of your life. You can bleach it like once every couple of months. As long as you take care of it in between, it's fine. I know that's like a big myth that a lot of people come across. A lot of people, when they bleach their hair, they're using the bleach that comes in like splat packages, which is not very great because splat is really cheap. Which I'm not faulting anyone for, because I do it too, because we can't all afford to have awesome bleach. I used a different kind of bleach that I got from Sally's years ago that I just left at my mom's house, and so I used it this time around, and I bleached it, and it did really good job with my hair, and I purposefully did it more towards the tips, so you can see the roots are still pretty dark in a lot of spots, and the tips are a lot lighter. That's how I wanted it to go. So I did that, and then I just used this dye that I got. It was actually cheaper than Splat. It was only $9.99, and Splat is usually closer to $15. And I got it from Ulta, so it was just the color itself. It didn't come with bleach, so that's probably why it was cheaper. But it went on really well. It was a really nice quality color, and it came out like exactly how I wanted it to be. Here's the thing, if you want to dye your hair, know what the fuck you're doing first. I have been dyeing my hair since I was 14 years old. I'm 22, so do the math. I certainly can't. I've been doing it myself since I was 18 years old. So once I got into college, I didn't have enough money to go to the salon and get my hair done. So I started doing it myself. I use like 30 Developer, and then I use this, can't remember the brand right now, but it's like just a big box of powder. And that will last you probably about like 8 bleaches. So I bought this when I was 18, and I still have more than half of it left because I've used it so little. It's like making pancakes. You just sort of put it together until it's a good texture, and then you mix it up, get out all the lumps, and then apply it to your hair. So I use a tinting brush just because it's easier. It's totally fine to use your hands. Obviously put gloves on first. Plastic gloves work if that's all you can get, but if you are able to get some rubber gloves, they last a lot longer, and I personally feel like more comfortable using them because they're a little bit sturdier material. It's basically just like taking your hair, take the layers, and then separate it out. I dye my hair when it's greasy, so I wait like 2 or 3 days after my last shower before I dye my hair, just because your hair is like pretty inundated with natural oils, and it takes better. I don't know, don't ask me how that works. I don't know anything about the science of it. I just know that that's basically how it works for me. So you can use your hand. If you have a tint brush, it makes it a little bit easier, but just apply it layer by layer. Make sure you get both sides. Like, I usually take a plate of hair, apply it to this side, and then I flip it over, apply it to this side, and that's just easier for me to maneuver. My hair is all fluffy and stick-uppy because I do need a shower. I don't let it set for as long as it recommends because I usually don't want to bleach it like all the way bright. I put my hair in a towel, and I have like a set of old towels that I know I won't miss if they get covered in bleach. So I use those specifically for my hair. Or if you want to get fancy about it, you can use tin foil. I personally don't like using it because it wastes a lot of foil and it's really hard to do, and it's kind of a mess, so I just don't have the patience for it. What bleach is essentially doing to your hair, it's not like harming you. It destroys the follicles that maintain pigment. So after you bleach your hair for the first time, your hair is going to fall out more it's not going to fall out randomly, but when you brush your hair, more of it's going to come out, and that's going to happen for at least the first couple of weeks after you bleach it. After you start to take care of it, shampoo and condition regularly, it's fine, but that's just how your hair is going to be for the rest of your life. And it's also going to maintain unnatural colors for less time, because that's the reason you bleach it is destroying that natural color that you have in there. And like, destroying is a really negative word, but that's basically what it's doing. So it just makes room. It empties out the pigment that you naturally have in there so that you can put in more pigment. So it depends on the brand. Some bleaches say condition when you do it. Some bleaches say don't do it at all, just rinse it out. Just read the bottle on whatever you're using. The one I use, you have to shampoo it, so I just like put in some shampoo, put my hair under the sink or in the shower, and just rinse it out. Make sure that you get every single bit of it out of your hair, and then let it dry, because you can't dye it until it's completely dry or it won't work. There are recommended times on the bottles for saying like how long you're supposed to leave it in. I usually leave it in for at least an hour, just because I know my hair is naturally very dark, and if I want a bright color, then it's going to take a lot longer for it to take. The longer you leave it in, the more likely it's going to take, and the more it's going to take. Like, so you can kind of see how in parts of my hair, like, you see an occasional dark streak because the bleach didn't make it as dark as it could be, but then you see like some areas where it's a little bit brighter because the bleach took really well. So like, the bleach took really well on these roots, but not these ones. So you can see the difference in the dye there. So it's an aesthetic thing. Like, if you want your hair to look perfect and professional, okay, that's cool. I have to keep fucking fixing it. I like the way my hair looks, so this is just my taste. What essentially it is doing is it's just staining your hair. So that's why you need to bleach it first, because bright colors are not able to stain darker hair as easily. It won't show up. So you can do it. Like, if you just want a colorful sheen, which I've done that before, and it looks really nice, so you can really only see the color in the light, and it looks kind of cool. If that's what you're going for, that's fine. If you're going for something bright like this, then you want to have it bleached a little bit more. But I just take a shower, and then I shampoo and condition my hair, depending on the brand, but usually they say shampoo and condition. And the thing is, you have to rinse with cold water. I know it sucks taking a cold shower, especially because I usually dye my hair really late at night, but the cold temperature of the water locks it in. I don't really know how that works. It does. Don't ask me how this happens. It just happens, okay? I'm not a scientist. I just rinse it with cold water and wait until the water runs clear, because what you're doing, you're washing out all the excess dye. Whatever's left is on your hair. That is what your hair has been dyed. Most of the hair dye you're going to be getting is going to be semi-permanent. It's going to wash out within several washes. So usually takes me maybe like 10 showers for it to completely fade to a point where it's not really recognizable, but it'll just gradually fade with every wash. Obviously, if you don't wash it every day, it's going to fade a lot more slowly. At least for the first couple nights after dyeing it, I try to put something over my pillow so that it doesn't stain the pillowcase. It doesn't usually stain the pillowcase, but just in case, it's just as a precaution. I shampoo, I use conditioner once every like 4 to 5 days. So that's every couple of washes. So the conditioner really helps. And sometimes what I do usually after the first couple of weeks, I'll start doing deep conditioning. So I take a shower, and I finish all my stuff in the shower, and then I apply the conditioner to my wet hair, and then I wrap it in a towel, and I leave it that way overnight, and in the morning I wash it out. My hair is beautiful, it's silky, it's smooth, it's gorgeous, and it feels really good too. It feels really nice. So that is a really good way to maintain your hair's texture. So basically, if you bleach it and dye it like every week, obviously it's going to do something to your hair, but you usually won't have to, because most semi-permanent hair dye lasts a couple weeks at a time. So it's really up to you, and if you want to do that every single week, make sure that you're treating it well in between. So get some really nice conditioner, splurge a little bit. They have shampoo and conditioner like in most drugstores, specifically for color treated hair, and it's really not that much more expensive than regular shampoo. So it's really good to have. It takes really good care of your hair if you care about that. If you don't care about the texture of your hair, then go nuts. Do whatever you want. This is really for the people who actually like give a crap. And I mean, I usually don't, but it's kind of nice because my hair is very fluffy and soft. And back when I was bleaching it all the time and not taking care of it, it was like straw. Like it felt very brittle, and it didn't look nice. It didn't style well. So this is just how I prefer to have my hair. It's totally up to your preference. I also want to say, like, when you're dyeing your hair, it doesn't matter what other people want you to do. It's your hair, it's your body, it's your life. So dye it however the fuck you want, as long as you have, like, if you don't have a job that has restrictions on hair, just do whatever the fuck you want with your hair. People will say shit, and okay, that's fine, that's on them. If they have a problem, it's their problem, not yours. So I just wanted to say that because I just get those comments all the time about people saying, oh, you're ruining your hair by dyeing it. And I'm like, I'm really not, because I know what I'm doing. So if you are considering dyeing your hair, or if you've tried it before, you don't really know how to go about it, I hope this helped you a lot. And of course, you can ask me questions, like leave a comment or something along those lines. It just... it's beautiful. Look at me. I'm a butterfly. I'm a chrysalis. I'm a butterfly out of my chrysalis. I'm an anime protagonist.